everybody, and welcome to a. You probably are wondering what exactly this is. For those of you who have been following along with us on the Wizarding World of Harry Potter campaign that has been happening over the last several months, we just finished the first act. We just had the grand finale of that first act. And we have a bit of a break in between. But during that break, I didn't want you guys, you viewers, to be completely away from this world that we've built. So, surprise, surprise, or maybe not so much of a surprise for those of you who've been with us for these last several years, unbeknownst to the main cast, there's been a few things going on behind the scenes around them involving a spin-off campaign to the Wizarding World. And we have the four players that are participating in this spin-off. But we might also see a few more familiar faces as well. So you might want to stick around for this. Anyway, welcome to what I'm referring to right now as the Orion campaign, the Wizarding World Orion campaign, and you will find out what exactly that means if you hang out with us. This, of course, because it's a spin-off, it's optional. You probably will understand the main plot of Act 1 and Act 2 just fine, but I think that if you really want the full experience, this is probably a series that might interest you. So, before we begin though, I wanted to allow us to have a chance to get to know all of the players here. So, if all of you could take turns to tell us what you want us to refer to you as, where you are from, what is your preferred pronoun, and as much or little as you would like to tell us about your character.
So hello, my name is Kevin. You can refer to me as the best Templar that ever lived and ever will be. No, I'm just kidding. Only slightly kidding. But no, my name is Kevin. I guess I'm a he. So I am someone who is very interested in learning more about the magical world. I play a muggle. And yeah, you'll find out more as we RP. You'll find out very fast.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I live in America, down in the South. I use he/him pronouns. Yeah, my character is a bit different than what you would expect. Doesn't quite fit what you would expect in a person from the Wizarding World would be like, but he has something special to him.
Hello, my name is Ronik, or my real name is Rasmus, but I go in the internet Ronik because it's much easier for anyone who doesn't speak Finnish to say my name. And I go by the pronoun he, and my character, he's really intrigued by old artifacts and, well, any magical items that exist in the world, and wants to learn as much about them and try to recreate them in his own way.
I'm Ken. I go by they, them usually. I live in Arizona in the United States. My character is a lovely French lady who's definitely got an interesting past. And don't think I want to say too much more, but she's very charming, very pretty, and is going to be interesting interacting with such a sausage fest.
I'm going to begin by asking the group a few hopefully fun icebreaker questions. So the first question I'm going to ask is, if you, the player, had the ability to cast magic in real life, what would probably be your go-to spell that you would be interested in being able to cast, and why would you like to be able to cast that spell? And this is again, you the player. I can answer that question if you'd want me to answer that question. I guess I will say that I guess for me, the most useful ability would not necessarily be a spell per se, but a magical tool, if you will. The ability to, well, I guess it could be a spell. Basically, the ability to teleport, you could say apparate, but I'm also thinking, because there's probably limitations to apparition, I would love to be able to travel from place to place, aka like the flu network. There's just so many places that I would love to be able to like say, hey, I'm just gonna go into my fireplace and end up visiting my family in the Philippines, or hey, I feel like getting some crepes in France. I'm gonna go into the flu network and get some crepes in France and then come back just in time for my 2:00 meeting. So that would be the ability that I personally would find actually useful in my day to day.
Again, it's not really like a spell, but some witches and wizards can turn into animals, and I would want to turn into like a dog and just just be, because they always seem like a lot of dogs that I meet are always friendly and relaxed and everything, and they're always excited over everything, and sometimes you just need that in your life, or you just what, I'm a dog now and I'm happy about everything.
Yeah.
I can definitely see you making a very good dog, personality-wise, Kevin. You definitely have a very dog-like personality. I love that. Okay.
If I may speak, if I had to choose, it's not really a spell either, but I would love to be able to fly on a broom. Just to be able to fly at all, really.
Would you want to be able to play Quidditch? Or just flying on a broom is all you want to do?
I probably wouldn't want to play Quidditch, but I would love to just fly around on a broom as it is.
Well, for me, I think I'm going to go to the useful route. I would like to some kind of spell that could animate objects to make them move as I want and do. Because, well, I sometimes just forget to clean up my room and it just gets worse and worse. And it it would just be extremely helpful to me to have something that always would clean the room when I needed to, and that didn't need to worry about it every time that just forget to clean up.
No, it's probably along the same route, but all I can remember is the fact I don't actually know what the heck the spell's called, but all I know is that Molly Weasley used something to wash her dishes for her, and I hate doing dishes, so I choose that, whatever that is.
There's a cleaning spell.
Yeah.
There is a spell that you can cast, and it's very... I envision it to be very Mary Poppins-like. She just like snaps her fingers and then things clean itself up. Like that's...
Or I would choose the Oculus Repairing because I'm always breaking my glasses.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Cool. Yes, I feel you on there. Cool. All right. The next question I have is, I know that you guys have fewer sessions than the main cast does, but I think it's still valuable to ask this and see if we could try to address them as much as possible with the few sessions that we have. What are some things that you are hoping to get out of this experience? What are some personal desires that you want to have from each other and from all of us at the table?
Well, if I may go first, I want to have fun with you guys and make an interesting story that will help will in a way help make the other campaign also more interesting as well. And I just want to make a very good story with all of you guys and have fun RPing with you, whether there's drama or camaraderie or thing. I just hope to make a good story and make it and hope that it's fun and I get invested in it, and so I hope I really get invested into it.
For me, I would say I really would just want to create a really good story and do some really good role play, make a lot of good friends through this. But I also want to see like in character people starting to question what they believe and have that conflict and go through those kind of like seeing everybody else's point of views and seeing how that changes your characters and your personal point of views and stuff like that. I really want to see that kind of conflict happen.
Similar to the others, making a good story is always on the forefront of these things. But I'm really excited to just explore more of the wizarding world in general. Like any more information or whatever that we can get is always welcome. And just role playing with new people is always a lot of fun. Just mix it up a little bit, and I think this will be a lot of fun.
Everybody else has said everything that I would have said. I just really was just really happy that I got to be in this group, even though it was sudden for me. But I just really don't have anything else. I just really want to have fun with everyone. That's the main thing that I want out of this, to have fun.
My desires from this, again, without giving too much away, but hopefully enough to intrigue you viewers out there. One major reason why I am creating this spin-off campaign is because I wanted a chance to expand our player community and give more opportunities for people to play in this game. And when I was during the auditions, way back during the auditions, I was just joking around with the auditioners, being like, I wish so badly that I could just play with all of you. I wish I could just put all of you in this campaign, because like virtually every single person on audition was just so good, and if I could put all of them as cast members in this campaign, I would. But that's impossible. Like doing something like that would just be crazy and non-practical, and it just can't be done. It just couldn't be done. But with a few other players, we sort of came up with an idea of how that could actually work, and how people that have auditioned and didn't quite make it into the campaign could still participate. And I'm not just talking about the people that are here, I'm talking about other people that auditioned and didn't quite make it into the main cast. So you will probably see during the course of this campaign a whole bunch of faces, many faces, from that list. And the people specifically that were invited to the list were people that I saw were contributing to the community, especially on our Discord server. So for all of you who I saw were like participating, communicating, being active on the Discord server, that's why you are invited to join in this campaign. So before we continue, I want to put people on the spot, like I like to do. Who wants to go first? Who wants to volunteer as tribute? Otherwise, I'm going to pick.
I'll volunteer.
Ken! How many times have you auditioned so far, Ken? I'm just curious. Twice at least?
Oh, more than that. Dragon Age Season 2, Mass Effect Season 2, Pokemon.
Yes.
So I think technically this was my fourth audition.
It's your fourth audition. So I recognized that I love people who are persistent, and I love people who don't give up and keep trying, because I always tell people to keep trying. And you've been so wonderful to me. You've been so supportive to me as a person. Like, I still use the immersion blender that you sent me for like my ice cream stuff. Not that you, and I'm not at all implying that you have to bribe your way into a campaign. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you've just been so great and so supportive, and with every single audition, you've just been so positive, and you comment on people's auditions. And that all counts for something. So when I was trying to decide who I was going to recruit to be in this campaign, I was like, Ken's got to get in here. Like, needs a chance to really shine. And I was hoping this be a great opportunity for you and be a great way for you to grow, so that when it comes time to audition for another campaign, you'll have a lot more experience under your belt, and hopefully this will be very, very helpful. So thank you, Ken. I'm so glad that you're here with us, and I'm looking forward to seeing what your character does in this story.
I'm excited.
Jojo,
Yeah.
how many times have you auditioned?
That would be about 3 times. I did Dragon Age Season 2, Mass Effect Season 2, and now this one, which would be my 3rd time.
I watched the very first audition that you've made, and then I watched the most recent audition that you posted, and it's like 2 different people. For any of you who want, I definitely recommend that you take a look at and watch Jojo's first audition and his second audition and his third audition, and I think it's pretty obvious that there's been a clear progression throughout them. Every single time everyone auditions, I try to give people positive feedback, but as well as constructive feedback. And I've noticed with each audition, you actually like listen to the constructive feedback and you actually take it into consideration. Like, when I watched your most recent one, you're smiling, you seem so much more comfortable in front of the camera, and you were just like very enjoyable to watch. And it's just, I just love watching you grow as a player and as a person. And I felt like, because you've reached that point, I'm like, Jojo's ready to play. And I wanted to get you in here for a very similar reason as Ken, because I thought this would also just add even more experience and give you just more opportunities to grow as a player and as a person, because I think you're ready. And I loved your character concept, and I think that you would be a very great asset to this group. So thank you, Jojo. I'll go to Ronick next. Ronick, I love you. I really do. When I saw your first audition for the Pokemon campaign, I loved your concept. You were quieter and a little bit more timid than you are now. You've grown so much more in confidence, and I think part of that is also because you had an opportunity to really put yourself out there and take some risks when you were in the Pokemon Spinoff campaign. And again, I loved watching you grow as a player and as a person. And like, the fact that you're smiling right now is just like, just makes me so happy, because again, it's like night and day. I feel like you're a very different person now. You seem more confident. You seem a lot more more outgoing, and just in general, just more comfortable around us. So I really, really am excited to just continue watching you grow as well. So that's all of you, right? I didn't forget anybody, right? So Kevin. So let me talk about Kevin. So first of all, I have tried to hang out with Kevin how many times now? And how many times has he rejected me? Many, many times he's rejected. I've been like, hey, Kevin, anytime you want to hang out, you only live like, what, an hour away, 2 hours. There's no reason that we can't hang out. And then crickets chirp, nothing. So This entire time, I feel like, so rejected and dejected. Why, Kevin? Love me, just love me, please. So this is my last shot. I thought maybe if I put him in this campaign, he'll actually like consider me his friend. Maybe. I mean, after doing Dragon Age Season 2, and then after doing The Ballad of Lochranach, and after, doing Divinity Original Sin 2, I thought we had something here. Clearly not. So, hopefully, Kevin, I will be able to grow and improve as a person to be more worthy for you. Because that's really what this is all about.
Oh, God.
Did I do a good job with that, Kevin?
Mm-hmm. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Perfect. Okay. It felt good to be able to like release that, to get that off my chest. It's cool. So let's get to some role playing, shall we? All right. So we're gonna set up this scene. The year is 1999. Michael Brightwood is your character's name. And Michael, you are coming into your office. Could you please describe for us what Michael looks like?
Sure. So he dresses very formally. He's got a nice tailored suit, very traditional black and white, black tie. He's got one of those like detective hats on. But yeah, he's very prim and proper. I think he likes to kind of like keep himself organized. But his office is the complete opposite, where he keeps himself very organized. If you look at his desk, there's papers and everything scattered everywhere, and it's very organized chaos. Where you might see like, how can you find anything? He'll be able to just sit down and pull things out and everything.
Could you describe your office a little bit more?
Sure.
Any chance? Okay.
So it's a relatively small office. He's got a desk, a chair. He has two nice single chairs in front of his desk for people who come and want to like have a meeting with him or something. He'll have a whiteboard on the right side with pictures of various people who are of interest to him. He'll have on the left a pinup board with different strings that are connected to different people. It's very chaotic, but for him, he kind of can see it, and it just helps him see like the broader picture.
Michael, you live in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Which is also where your office is located, in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be notified that your boss, Agent Regal, would like to speak with you.
Okay. He'll kind of stand up and brush himself off and kind of pull on his jacket and head over to his superior's office.
She is very much a no-nonsense boss as well. I wouldn't necessarily put her at Amanda Waller level. Like, Amanda Waller is a little bit too extreme. She's more like, has any of you guys watched the game show Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was a kid show back in the, again, 90s called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and the chief of that show is sort of like how I'm kind of modeling, but she's a bit stricter and firmer than that. Anyway, she's not somebody that you want to cross, I guess is what I'm trying to say. She takes her job very, very seriously. And when you enter into her office is a lot larger. It is very well organized. And she herself is in a simple but very authoritative incredibly sophisticated suit, and she will look up as soon as you enter into her office, and she will greet you and say, "Michael, thank you so much for being prompt."
Of course. It's part of the job. Yeah.
Have a seat, please.
Thank you. Go in and sit down.
I trust that everything in your office is up to par, that you have everything that you need in order to accomplish your tasks.
That is correct. Everything is where it needs to be.
Excellent. Michael, I have a few files for you. Those candidates that we were talking about, that we were thinking of recruiting,
Yes, yeah.
I have their dossiers here. And she will present to you a manila folder that has a few files. And on the files, you will see two individual profiles. One is a young female, looks like she's in her mid-20s, named Celeste Vinad. And the other one appears to be a young man who is Vieno Sepa.
Excellent. And they've passed all the previous screenings and everything that we do?
Yes, everything seems to be in order. All we need to do now is to have you interview them and assess if they are a good fit for our group.
Very well. I find that to be easy enough. Do you know when this will be taking place?
I have the interview scheduled for you later this afternoon at 3 o'clock p.m. sharp.
Excellent. I think we can accommodate them.
Be very careful. Use caution. We don't necessarily want to reveal to the candidates everything, at least not until they are officially hired into our organization.
Of course.
I will trust your best judgment then, Mr. Brightwood.
I appreciate it. Hopefully they are up to par with what this agency is looking for.
It's very important. We need people that will take this job very seriously. We are getting enough flack from some of our other colleagues as it is. I want to make sure that they know that we are only hiring the best and brightest, because we want to be able to prove in not only the sanctity of what we're doing, but also the importance of what our mission is.
Yes, I agree.
If there's nothing else, you are dismissed, Mr. Brightwood.
Thank you, ma'am. And he'll kind of stand up and give her a little bit of a nod and turn and exit.
Celeste, you are going to make your way into what appears to be an office building. Now, Kevin, to the regular public, there is an office building that is attached to where the Orion main headquarters is located, and that's pretty much where you will be. That's pretty much where you will be doing the interviews at. Right now, Celeste is going to be in some conference room of some sort. Maybe there was some sort of secretary or lady at the front desk who offered you something to drink. Celeste?
She would refuse anything to drink.
That's fine. And she will tell you that Mr. Brightwood will be in to speak with you shortly, all right?
Yes, thank you very much, madam.
The door will open and you'll see Michael. I think he's 6'2", and he's still dressed very finely, like tailored suit and everything. He doesn't have his hat on though, because he's indoors.
Well, Celeste is a fit woman, not super skinny, standing only at about 5'6". She's fairly short. She has this long kind of straight, platinum blonde hair, very, very striking blue eyes. She's wearing moderate amount of makeup. And if you know what the 90s power suit looked like, so the shoulder pads, the loose fitting pants, and she's wearing a little, with a little bit of jewelry, a small necklace and a brooch, and she's standing like she is taller than she is, very straight, very forward. She seems to have an air of confidence about her.
Miss Vinod?
Yes, monsieur.
Yes, right this way. And he will lead you into, like, down a hallway, and then it's like the first door on the left, and he'll open the door for you and gesture for you to go through.
She'll walk in with a slight nod.
As you walk in, he'll turn around and close the door. You'll see just a standard table with two chairs on either end. Please have a seat.
Thank you. And she'll go and she'll take a seat.
So I assume that the secretary offered you something to drink?
Yes, she did. It was very kind.
Good. We want you to be comfortable here. And then he'll go and take a seat. And take more of a relaxed positioning as he kind of like leans on his chair like this and just kind of like gives you a look, like kind of like a examining you.
Sizing her up.
Sizing her up, thank you.
Celeste has like perfect posture as she sits down. It's very clear that this is something that she is very used to.
All right. Well, you seem to have passed all of your background checks and everything. So that's no problem. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
If you don't mind, monsieur, I did not catch your name.
Ah, my apologies. My name is Michael.
Just Michael?
For now.
Very well. Well, I was born in Paris. I studied law and politics when I was in school. However, there hasn't been much more about me since then. I've done some traveling. Recently found myself living in America.
Interesting. And through your time traveling, what was your purpose for traveling? Just for pleasure or study?
Well, if I wanted to get into politics, I figured it would be important for me to see the world I would be interacting with.
This is fair enough. So you're from Paris, correct?
Yes.
Parlez-vous français? And he'll start speaking French to you.
And she will speak French back, because I don't actually know French.
Yeah, no worries.
Is it safe to assume that the rest of this conversation will be spoken
Sure,
in French?
yeah.
Is it safe to say that? Okay. You will probably also notice, Celeste, that this man is rather fluent.
Okay.
Is rather fluent in French.
It has been some time since I've gotten to speak the French language. So I must ask for your forgiveness if I mispronounce anything.
It's quite alright, you seem quite fluent. Have you been to France?
Unfortunately, I have not, but I have a knack for picking up languages, and that's what I studied in my university.
Seems we have something in common. I also know my fair few languages.
Interesting. What other languages do you know?
Well, I also know German, Spanish, Japanese, Gaelic, and Chinese.
Ah, excellent. A wide variety. Perfect. And then he'll switch to Japanese and start speaking Japanese to you. It's very good to finally meet someone else who knows so many new languages, or different languages.
Well, being able to communicate with many different peoples is very important to me.
I agree. Well, this is Quite interesting. Quite interesting. So, before I continue to tell you a little bit more about my organization, tell me, what are some of your strengths?
Well, I am very good at communicating and, for lack of a better term, persuasion.
Mm.
I did learn quite well from my schooling. I'm decent at physical activities. I know a little bit of fighting, fairly athletic. Other than that, I'm proficient in history and obviously languages.
Excellent. Excellent. Now tell me, what would be a weakness of yours?
A weakness. Well, I don't sleep very well.
Do you think that affects your energy levels?
Not usually. I just am a fairly late sleeper. Sometimes I don't get much sleep. And other than that, I would probably say I can be a little bit suspicious of people.
Interesting. Well, just one more question. How are you with the weird or paranormal? Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, actually.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Do you believe in ghosts, monsieur?
I've yet to find hard evidence, but I like to believe that they're out there. So now, do you have any questions for me just regarding myself, not the company?
Were you raised here in Washington?
No, I was born in Pennsylvania, just a little ways away.
I see. Have you traveled much, monsieur?
No, fortunately, my life situation didn't really pan out enough for me to travel, though I think with this job, we might be traveling quite a bit.
That should be very interesting.
I agree. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to use my languages more. So maybe I can become as good at communicating as you are.
Well, you're already taking some good steps in that direction. You asked me about my opinions on the supernatural, monsieur. What about you? Do you have an interest in other things besides ghosts?
I do actually. I always believe in paranormal. Not to go as far as Bigfoot or anything, but Frankenstein, because that's just ridiculous. But
of course.
I always believed in how do you say it? And he'll switch back to French. Palm reading psychics.
Yes.
Magical and telling the future and everything. I've always found an interest in that.
I'm sure some of them are real. Of course, you always have to you always have to bear in mind there's always going to be a few fakes.
Oh, of course. Of course. Other than that, I don't know. I think I need to see more proof. I think the truth is out there somewhere. Ooh, I'm sorry, that one hurt me a little bit.
It seems fairly interesting that an agent would be so interested in something that most would simply dismiss as fairy tales.
Well, the government is a big place, especially here. We have agencies for almost everything. And here at Orion, we like to explore every single possibility.
Are you part of that supposed Area 51 that I've heard so much about?
Between you and me, that is just a ruse to detract from Area 52.
Cute.
Yes. But that will lead me into what we do here at Orion. We take interesting cases from around the world with the approval of other countries' governments, of course, and we investigate strange activities, things that can't be explained by normal means. People vanishing without a trace. How do you feel about that?
I believe in it quite strongly, and I believe that if there is some truth to be found, it is deserved to be known.
Very good. Well, do you have any more questions?
So, you say the point is to investigate strange happenings.
Mm.
Is it purely to investigate, or is there more to it?
There's always more to everything, as I'm sure you know. However, I can't inform you any more than that until I go through the proper channels and get you officially in Orion.
Oh, so it is, as the Americans say, classified.
Quite right.
I see. Well, I certainly hope I get to join you on this little journey, monsieur. It certainly sounds interesting, and you seem quite the interesting man.
Ah. Well, thank you. You definitely seem like an interesting candidate. I will pass along my recommendation to my superior, and we'll see if we can't get you in.
Thank you very much. I will be awaiting a phone call.
Excellent. And he'll stand up from his chair and extend a hand.
She'll reach out, and it's not like the normal handshake. She'll actually do the kind of like
Uh-huh.
reach.
He'll take it and just give it like a light peck.
Oh, such a gentleman. Didn't think any still existed.
I didn't think people actually did that. I only saw that in movies. I'm just glad that I did that the correct way.
Years of etiquette school. It's required.
Ah, I see.
Hmm.
Well, we will be in contact with you shortly.
I look forward to it.
Excellent. And he will go to the door and open it for you. And
She'll step out, give a little nod. Have a good day, monsieur.
you as well.
Oh, well done. Beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Well done, you two.
And
That
the
was-
shipping has started.
Of course.
It's still early. There's still a lot of opportunities. There's several doors that can still be opened. So, speaking of doors opening, Felix.
Yeah.
So, Felix, you are 19 years old.
Yeah. If this was a few months before he would be out
Yes.
19.
Yes, this scene will be taking place a few months prior to the one that we just saw. So, what is your living situation right now, Felix?
It's not the best at the moment. He currently lives in a pretty small apartment down here in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's pretty small. There's a small fridge, there's a bed, there's a closet, there's a small table and a chair. There's not a lot of room, but it's okay. That's his main living area. The main room in that he mostly uses for his occupation. current occupation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we say that, especially at your age, because rent is very expensive, can we say that you have a roommate?
Yes, I say a roommate wouldn't be too out of place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to say that you have a roommate. His name is Rodney. And Rodney is kind of like, to be quite honest, he's kind of a stoner. Kind of. So he doesn't, but the thing is, he doesn't like really bother you. He doesn't bother you. You don't bother him, and he pays his rent on time. So you don't really have anything to complain. It's just he can be a little spacey, sometimes. So it's an afternoon, and Rodney, he tends to stay in his room most of the time, so he's not really super social, but he'll talk to you if you have something to say to him. But for the most part, you kind of leave each other alone as much as possible. So he steps out of his room, and he's got on his... Do they still have Walkman back in 1999? Was that still a thing? I don't remember what they had back in the day, but he had something. He has headphones, and he's listening to music. You can kind of hear Britney Spears blaring through the headphones, he's saying, "Hey man, I'm gonna go out and get some grub. I'll be back in I don't know, sometime later tonight."
Fair enough, Rodney. Fair enough.
All right, catch you later. And he'll just step out of the apartment and leave you alone in your apartment.
Later, Rodney. Right. Felix is probably going over his bills currently right now because of his financial situation. He's just checking over everything and making sure he is he keeps himself on a tight budget because of how little money he is and how he kind of lives basically off his occupation is okay at the moment, but he has to live very, very strictly at the moment. So yeah, he'll often have to skip meals sometimes too, and he's very careful about what he spends money on currently. Yeah.
I will say that about 15 minutes, sometime shortly after Rodney left, there is a knock on your door.
I shoot up a bit, and he will quickly put his bills away in a box very quickly. He will pat himself down and ready himself up because this might actually be a client of his. So it'd be a good idea to be presentable, and he quickly moves to the chair around the table that's at the center of the room and put 2 chairs there because what's customary, and quickly move up to the door, pull himself up, and answer the door.
You'll open the door and you will see a young man who appears to be a little older than you. Ronick, please describe your character, please.
He is an average build man, dark blonde hair and blue eyes. If you could tell, he's very not American. His clothing is he's wearing a light jacket. Really, well, clothing is someone who's traveled a lot. He has a suitcase with him which has lots of different stamps of around the world.
Okay.
And what does Felix look like?
Felix is a bit lankier and stuff. He has some muscle, but not a lot. He's a bit lankier. He has a curly red hair that's a bit messy at times. He has white skin. It has a little bit of tan because he does walk around a lot in New Orleans, and it is usually pretty hot and sunny around there. He's a little tanned. He has unusually red eyes that are a bit unusual, and he currently wears a bit of a plaid button-up shirt that it's a bit loose, and a pair of khakis. He wears them very loosely because of how warm it is down here. Welcome to my humble abode. He starts to put on an act because this is his main source of income. Do you seek to peer into your fortune?
Well, that would be intriguing. Yes, why not?
Come right in, my friend. Internally, Felix is kind of rolling his eyes a little as he leads him in. The main room you enter is not that big. It's about like 15 by 50 feet. There's an old rug at the center with a table and 2 chairs on it, and what appears to be a tablecloth and a crystal ball on it. There are like all the furniture is very old or second. There's a window off to the left, and there are 2 doors probably to the different Rodney's and Felix's rooms respectively. It doesn't look like this place. It's kept very clean and organized by Felix, but it doesn't look like the best apartment, really. He's kind of makeshifted it into a place where he can work, but it's not the best place. Come, take a seat.
Okay, very well. Yep.
So, what is it may I help you with today, good sir?
Let me think. What can you do, actually? What are you specialize in?
My good friend, I am a specialist in fortunes of the truth. I am here to assist you in finding out your future.
Intriguing. Well, let's see what you can do.
You would like me to tell you your fortune?
Well, of course.
Alright then. He takes the crystal ball, which is actually not a real crystal ball. He does actually own a real crystal ball, but he's not going to use it for this.
That's for like the premium service. So you have to. This is just to get you in the door, but then you'll have to do some sort of subscription plan or something to build up to the actual crystal ball.
And at deluxe service, you get you get the tea leaf treatment.
Whoa! Wow.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Let us begin. There's one thing you wouldn't quite know about Felix is that he is actually colorblind. He only sees in blacks, whites, and various shades of gray. He's going to appear to be looking into the crystal ball, but he is going to try and tap into his divinational powers.
Will you make a roll for that?
Okay, so it's a divination roll, right?
Yes. Go ahead and roll your dice for rolling actual dice. Yes. And tell me what your value is.
Well, okay, I rolled 2 1s, but with
Oh no.
but with my plus divination, it should be an 8.
Okay, I think 2 1s is a critical fail.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Okay, so this is what you see. So at first, nothing happens. Normally, when you try to channel a divination, something should happen within the first minute, but like, nothing's going on. And I'm going to say that for Vienno, you're noticing Nothing's happening. What's going on?
Oh, sorry.
So I don't know if you'll comment on that or not, Vienno.
I'm sorry.
Is there
it kind of
something
froze
wrong?
up for me for a second.
Tweaking. Is there something wrong?
No. Sometimes the fates are clouded. Allow me a few more moments, please. And what follows from here is bullshit. I see dark clouds in your future. Future, I see you. You are walking down a path. Dark clouds cover the sky among you. A bright light shines through, guiding you down a different path. Revealing a path that you didn't quite see before. Revealing new truths and destinies before you. It's all made up.
Yeah. So because of his critical fail, it all totally sounds like BS. Totally sounds like BS. This guy does not know what he's doing. He is a total quack. Probably a fake. Maybe you wasted your time coming here. I'll let Vienno decide.
I thought you would be better than this.
As soon as you say that, the crystal ball starts to shake and it starts to vibrate. So now something's happening. Felix, this has never happened to you before. This is totally new. And the crystal ball just starts shaking and vibrating and shaking. And then all of a sudden, the crystal ball shatters and shards start flying all over the place.
The second it shatters, he kind of like jumps to the side. He kind of tries to jump under the table.
Yes, okay, so I will need both of you to please roll me, would that be a dodge, I think? So Felix tries to dodge out of the way. One shard of the crystal ball manages to nick his cheek, and some blood starts to go down your cheek. Unfortunately for Vienno, a much larger shard actually flies and embeds into his arm.
Ooh.
It actually gets embedded into his arm, and it's pretty wedged in there, and now it's starting to bleed. So you will then take 3 points of damage from that, Vienno.
Ouch. Great.
Those critical fails, man. Especially the first roll of the game.
Oh.
Roll of the game was a critical fail.
It's a fake crystal ball.
Oh, that was not what I expected when I came here.
Fuck. Oh. Felix picks himself off the ground and looks over to Vienno and is, oh no. Wait, sir. Let's and he quickly moves over, sir. We need to get you to a hospital, sir.
I guess this was one thing I didn't expect to come in here. I think you really do need my help here.
I'm sorry. No, never mind that. Now we need to get you help. He's gonna take him to the closest thing that's probably a clinic nearby.
Yeah.
There's probably a clinic nearby.
So they're going to take you to a clinic nearby. I think the nurse is going to ask, what happened?
Some glass shattered and it kind of hit him.
I see. Okay, that might require some stitches. Do you have insurance, sir?
Yes, of course.
So, they will be able to... I'm gonna say that they will be able to remove the glass that's lodged in and will be able to patch you up. They'll stitch you up, and just for the sake of time, we'll say that takes taken care of, and after you are released from the clinic and everything's been taken care of, what happens next?
Felix is probably waiting right outside the clinic, looking pretty worried and concerned. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You really should have used the real thing.
He raises an eyebrow and the real thing, sir?
Can we assume you guys are back at your apartment?
Sure.
We'll
Yeah.
assume that you're back at your apartment when you're having this conversation. Go ahead.
The real
Yeah.
thing, sir.
Yeah, your real crystal ball. I know that was a fake.
It's at this point that Felix is going to start figuring that the person before him is not a no match. Is not a no match. Let me see. You are in the know, I guess. Then.
Well, yes. It's kind of my thing to know about these kind of things. Intriguing phenomenon. People.
Usually, the fake it doesn't really do anything. I don't really need it for normal. Usually, crystal ball is usually for very important things or more frequent clients.
That's wise. Keep it a real thing hidden for more
Yes,
profitable people.
yes, and it's also a lot more expensive.
Well, yes, of course. Just making that thing would be really hard.
No. Don't want to just advertise it around, to everybody. It's good to have a decoy in case anyone decides to grab it.
Smart.
So, I assume you didn't quite come here for your fortune.
Not exactly, no. I came actually to maybe provide some help for you.
For me, you want to help me.
Well, yes. I'm travel a lot. Very much, and I go around helping people who might need some little magic assistance.
Assistance, I see. May I ask who exactly you are?
Sorry. Pieno Seppä. I'm from, well, not around here.
Roll me a knowledge for Felix. Either roll me a first aids check or roll me a knowledge history or knowledge pop culture or knowledge. I don't know what your knowledges are, but
I have astronomy, cuisine, and herbology.
none of those will apply.
That-
So either roll me a regular knowledge check or a first aid check, whatever is higher for you.
Alright. I actually have a very high knowledge.
As you should.
Yes. Oh, come on! 2 1s again!
2 1s again.
Get new dice now.
Get new dice now.
Yeah,
Nice
I'm trading them out. I am trading these dice
Well,
out.
re-roll that again because I really want to give you this information. Just re-roll it again.
Alright.
I'm going to use my inspiration to roll it.
Alright. That's much better. Okay. I have a total of 17.
Okay, so in the wizarding world culture, what triggered in your head was when Vieno said that he could provide some magical assistance. So in the wizarding world, there have been claims, and you can decide for yourself if this is like a real thing or not, but there's claims in the wizarding world that some wizards and witches, they have trouble with magic. Some of them have a lot of trouble casting magic than others, and so they refer to that as magical impotence. And so there's this product that mages have been trying to sell called Magigra, which is basically the Viagra of magic. So Magigra has been recently been trying to be marketed to the wizarding world, and some of mages and wizards and witches, they swear by it. Having all these testimonies that, my life, I just haven't been able to, my spells, they just haven't been as effective. But ever since I started using Magigra, I was able to. And of course, whenever they have these like ads in like the newspaper and then in the wizarding newspaper, yeah, exactly. There's like, how many hours till you have to go see a wizarding doctor? If these certain side effects continue to persist, please contact your your wizard doctor as soon as possible.
The second this comes to his mind, Felix's eyes widen in horror and he groans, "Oh no.
Oh no, don't.
I do not need Magigra."
Don't worry. That's not what I'm do. Not exactly what I do.
Not exactly.
See, I don't really. I prefer using magical items instead. I'm create and make different kinds of magical items too that could assist people with, problems that they might have not casting magics. And unlike others who would just go around like traveling salesmen, I gather information about people before I go to try and sell them stuff. And I gathered some information about you, and I know you can't do anything else.
Yeah. Yes. I've heard it all before. Yes. I can only do divinational magic. Can't do any other kind. I am a wizard, though.
Yes, I know that. I have been collecting information about you for a little while now, so I know about this. And I want to help. I could provide you with some magical items that could lend you a little boost in casting automatics.
I'm not quite sure how well that would work. Felix is looking very skeptical about this.
Of course, you would be skeptical. Things are. You know about different magical items that can grant you different abilities. Grant you, magical items that could grant you much more power than you could have before. I researched all about these magical items and tried to recreate them.
Look, I'm very flattered, but I can't pay for anything, sir.
Oh, money! I don't deal only in money. That's no fun. I deal with more information.
Information.
Yes. I want to find magical items that no other mage has ever found.
I see. I take it. I think I get the picture now. You want me to assist you in giving you any leads on magical items, and you will pay me in some items, I assume.
Yes.
Look, I'm not sure if I even believe that these items will help me. I'm not. Like, do you have any you can show me?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I take my case
Yeah.
and
Felix
open
is
up.
looking pretty skeptical. It's like he doesn't get his hopes up much. It's a bit more. He has a bit of a cynical look on his face about this.
Hmm. Well, he takes out his suitcase and opens it up, and it's larger than it looks. Much more larger items that would normally fit into suitcase.
Mhm.
And these items, some that look like they would be magical items, but some look like much more common items that would find in someone else's house.
Mm.
Some decorations, lamps,
Mm.
any kind of interesting items. Intriguing and some common items that look.
Gotcha.
What would you like to try? I have many different things you could.
Hmm. So, out of character, what are my options here?
There's one that looks like a normal wand with some runic symbols carved into it. Another is a talisman, and another is a ring, actually.
I think Felix would reach out and take the ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Will it be that ring or not? I don't think that I would not put that ring in there.
Okay. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Let's see here. That.
Felix, could you please roll me a whatever the equivalent of a spot check is? I'm gonna say perception.
Or what about observe?
Observe is fine too.
Uh,
Whatever is higher for you.
that is a roll of 15.
Excellent. Roll me a knowledge astronomy you said you had.
Yes, knowledge of 17 total.
Perfect. That's exactly what I needed you to get. Okay, so at some point, Vienno had his wand out, and something catches your eye. So his wand, could you describe what your wand looks like, just in general, Vienno?
Could say very intricate wooden wand. It's very different kind of symbols on the sides.
There's one thing that catches your eye, because the wand looks like it's had a lot of use, but one component, should I say, of the wand looks newer, if that makes sense. So there appears to be some sort of runic symbol on his wand that catches your eye. And the runic symbol, because of your knowledge in astronomy, is the zodiac symbol of Capricorn. And for whatever reason, that seems to catch your eye. And then as you're watching that symbol, the Capricorn symbol starts to shift in color before your eyes. And the Capricorn symbol appears to...
Just one question. I see it in color?
You see in color.
Yes.
You're seeing that particular part in color.
Gotcha.
Now, Vienno, you're not noticing any of this. All of this is just what Felix is seeing. But you see the symbol expand a bit, and the runic symbol seems to be sliding off of the wand. And when it completely slides off of the wand, it looks like a ring, different from the ring that you were pointing at just a moment ago. And then that ring moves and floats around the room. You might be following it a little bit. Where do you keep your wand, just out of curiosity?
I keep it in a safe behind a drawer.
Okay. you see from your room, wherever the safe was, the safe in color emerge. Now, you know this is not real. So while you're watching this, you believe that the safe is still where it is. But for whatever reason, you're seeing in your vision this safe in color emerge from your room. The knob of the safe, the dial in the safe, like spins to show that the combination is being used. The safe opens. Your wand comes out. Again, all of this is in color, and the ring slides into your wand, shrinks down, and then attaches to it. And then you see that the Capricorn symbol, the runic symbol, seems to now be embedded in your wand. And then the vision dissipates. Everything goes back to normal. The safe is gone, your wand is gone. You believe your wand is still safely tucked in the safe as usual. It's just kind of odd that that's what you saw in your vision. So what does Vienno say that the ring does? Or what he does with that ring?
Well, that ring, if you were to wear that ring and touch something that would be damaged in some way, it would repair itself when focusing on that object with the hand, using your hand with the ring on it.
Sounds pretty useful.
Yes.
Hmm.
You can give it a try if you want.
Yes. He's going to put the ring on, and then he's going to look over at the collected glass
Yes.
shards of the broken fake crystal ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to bring his hand over and touch one of the glasses.
Roll a use magical item skill, please.
All right.
I don't think you have any penalties for that. I don't think.
I do not, and I rolled high, really well.
Nice.
I rolled a 15 total.
All right. So you attempt to use whatever wizarding ability you think you have within you to channel it in through the ring as a focus, and lo and behold, before your very eyes, you slowly see the shards of glass start to lift off of the ground, and they begin moving towards the base of the crystal ball, and they start repairing themselves like pieces of a puzzle. And then the piece of glass that was embedded into Vienno's arm just moments ago seems to have regenerated, and then all of the cracks and lines around the crystal ball start to disappear as it becomes solid once again. This is probably one of the rarest times that, other than divination, you actually cast magic.
What do you think?
I am impressed.
Well, thank you. I'm very proud of my items.
So here's how I see it. He can't cast normal spells, really. Sometimes he could, he's maybe occasionally used a port key. Maybe he's, played with a wizard chess set. So it's he's not actually... I think Felix doesn't view it as him actually casting magic. He's seeing it as... It's just he's using a magic. He's just making use of a magic item that's casting the magic. He doesn't really view it as him casting magic himself. His perspective is that unless he's actually casting the spell, it's not really him doing the magic.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good explanation. Continue.
So he is impressed, and he is a little happy, but there's an underlying thing there's a reminder that this is only possible with an item. It's not actually him casting the magic, so...
Yes. You're using magical assistance.
Yeah. Which he is feeling very, very conflicted about at the moment. He is silent for a few moments before standing up and placing the fake crystal ball right back where it was originally. I could see plenty of use for such an item, or items such as those. So, you would like my assistance?
Yes, very much so.
I'll see what I can do.
Of course. And you can keep the ring. It's yours. It's
Thank you.
a gift for, well, helping me getting that shard of glass out of my arm.
Oh. Again, I apologize for that. I have no idea how that happened.
Don't worry. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes they just need a little help.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So I'm sorry. May I ask you one more thing
Of course.
before I help you with my help you guide you to whatever you're looking for next? What does the Capricorn mean to you?
Excuse me?
The Capricorn.
Well, it's my zodiac sign.
I see. I'm sorry. I noticed that it was on your wand, and I was curious.
You saw it.
I am
Yes.
I'm sorry. I am a very observant person. I just notice things sometimes.
Oh, don't worry. It's a special thing for me.
I see. Well, I guess we should get started then. Let's see what I can do to assist you, he says. He's
Of
taking a
course.
seat down, and he actually moves the crystal ball off the table and onto top of the drawer. He then heads over to the other room. He moves the drawer a bit. He kind of closes the door and enters the combination, and then he pulls out the crystal ball, the actual crystal ball that he has alongside the wand, and some money, both from the Wizarding World itself, like he has a couple of galleons and stuff, but also actual real Muggle money as well. It's where he keeps all of his stuff at the moment, and he pulls out the crystal ball, the real crystal ball, and comes right back out and places it on the table. Let's see what I can do for you.
Very well. I sit
So,
down.
you're looking for guidance for more magical items.
Yes, very much so.
All right, let me begin.
Try to roll again.
Divination.
Yeah, divination.
Okay, that is a 17 total.
Okay. This is what you see. So, again, you notice some activity happening off to the corner of your eye. So, let's say that the kitchen is off to the side, and from the kitchen, the drawer suddenly goes in color, visually in color. The drawer opens, and floating out of the drawer are 2 silver spoons. These 2 silver spoons are floating towards yours and Vienno's direction. Then the spoons start to crumple up, and they kind of are being shaped into this silver-looking stud that almost looks star-like. And that spoon flies over to Vienno, and let's assume that Vienno's wearing a belt around his waist. It attaches to his belt buckle. And then the other spoon, to your surprise, also floats to your direction, and it attaches to your belt buckle as well. Then the last thing that you see on your table, let's say that you had some coasters on the table.
Probably.
And the coasters, we'll say they're white. And the coasters again, look colorful to you, and they start to shape themselves, and one of them forms a very specific shape that looks like an obelisk, a white obelisk, which you, if you could roll me a knowledge roll, knowledge history or knowledge geography, or any of those.
Probably just a knowledge. I would add my intellect as well, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so. Okay, that is an 18.
You immediately recognize that that structure is the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. And that ends your vision.
Well, my friend, I think you have a long trip ahead of you. I see a star upon your belt. And I see, well, I believe I see Washington Monument. I believe whatever you're going to find, it will be over in the Capitol.
Interesting. I don't think I have been there yet.
I've not either, sir, but, well,
Yeah.
Vienna, I wish you luck.
Thank you. And if you ever want any more assistance, I take out a card and give it to him. Just call.
I never actually introduced myself. Forgive me. My name is Felix Underwood. And thank you.
Of course.
Hmm.
It was very nice to meet you.
And you as well.